welcome to Embellish the Story. I'm Tammy, and I'm so happy you're crafting with me today. I have a little project that I wanted to do with y'all. On my last video, I was showing you a little tag flip booklet that I had done for fall, and several of you commented and said, will you do a little tutorial? Will you show us that in a little more detail? So I said, yes, I'll be glad to. So that's what I'm doing in this video. And before I start showing you how I did it, I just want to say that where I got my inspiration from Lori Girl on the Ridge and Love Always Savannah, they did their flip book nothing like I'm doing mine. And so you can adapt what I'm doing to whatever works best for you. We all have our own style and our own set of supplies, and we have our own tastes, and that's what makes each of our creations special. So however you choose to approach this is going to be lovely, and I'm just showing you how I did it. So here are some of the trims and laces that I thought I would incorporate into this project. I went with not as much fancy stuff. I went with some more, I'm thinking of going with more like eyelets, and then this muslin that's ruffled, and then some vintage fabrics because of the nature of this tag flip booklet, which is going to be an Anne of Green Gables flip booklet. If you've watched any of my videos before, I've mentioned in a couple of videos that that's my favorite book series and it's my favorite movie series. And I had this digital set, and it's been printed off for about 5 years. So that's where I'm going with this one. So I want to show you how I approach this. These are my tag sizes, and where I got those sizes was really pretty random. So it goes from a small tag to the largest tag. And these are the sizes of each of those tags. And where did I come up with those sizes? I simply went by tag templates that I already used that were cascading. So I truly went with random tag templates. Like here's one from a piece of clothing. Here's a merchandise tag, a larger merchandise tag. This is a tag that came off a set of dish towels. You can see kitchen towel. And here's a large tag that I've used in other projects from this size. So these are templates I just frequently used. So what I did was I just cut out my cardstock to match the size of the template. I am securing this little booklet with one of these little ring binders, and that's a 1-inch ring binder. That's just the one I had. So any size ring binder you use would be fine. I think you could even tie this in a bow. It would not flip so easily, but it would be awfully cute, and it would still allow you to flip it a little bit. So my thought behind this was to have layers that are visible and to have the tags kind of cascading downward as I go. I'm also designing it with keeping in mind I would like things to come out from the left that you can see and from the right that you can see. So that will give my tag flip booklet lots of three-dimensional layering, because y'all know I love layers. So when I flip it, you can just see it already gives me a little layered look. So that's how I approached it. You can approach it like they did and pretty much do all the same size tag. I love the way they did it. One of them bound theirs from this side, and one of them bound theirs with 2 rings over here. So truly, we can do this any way we want. So having said that, I would like to decorate a couple of tags with you, and let's just get started on that. So for this first tag, the smallest one, I just looked through my digitals, and one piece they had was this oval piece, and I thought that I could put it on and make a little tuck spot. And then I could put this lace down here. And then there was a cute little ephemera pieces to tuck into it. This digital set came from AmorMDesigns. And I'll leave the link in the description box. So I'm just going to put this on as a little tuck spot. I am going to leave it protruding a little bit off the back of this tag. And the main thing is I want to put it on so I can tuck the things in and they will stay securely. So I don't want to put the glue further than that rose. So I'm going to put this down. And then I'm going to put it down a little bit on the side. All right. So let's see if I did that properly. So this little piece will tuck in there. Let me, my glue spread. Okay, so this little piece will tuck in there, which is the little hat that Anne wore. I might have to trim that down. This is a fancy hat she might have worn. It's not like the tattered hat she wore when she first got to Green Gables from the orphanage. And then here's a little ticket. And I was thinking when she arrived on the train and Matthew met her at the station. When I create anything, even the tiniest embellishment set from my shop, I try to tell a little story. And this one is especially near and dear to my heart because I love these movies so much. So this little ticket, let's see if all of those will fit in. Yeah, they'll all fit in. It has a little ticket set with the train, and then admit one, she might have gone to a play, and then her little puff sleeve dress, which is so sweet when Matthew bought that for her. So I'm going to pop those there. And then I'm going to put this little lace trim on the bottom. So it goes on this side. I want it to be so you don't see the edge of that. So I'm going to move it up there. And I'm just simply going to put this at the bottom. I didn't choose a long lace because I do want to see that tag that's going to be beneath it. So I chose a shorter lace. Just to give the bottom of that a little finishing touch. So I thought this looked a little plain. So I wanted to do a little bit more here. And I'm thinking about this, but I'm not sure. What I know I want here is a bow. So I'm going to make the bow first. I'm taking this tool and I'm going to do it's kind of a lopsided bow is the best way I can describe it. So here's a piece of tulle, and I want my tails to be here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the tulle, and I'm going to loop it once on that side. I'll loop it on this side, and then the third time I loop it, I'm going to loop it once, and I'm not going to loop it again on this side. So that's going to give me a more fluffy bow on this side, but a loop in the tails on that side. And I'm just going to twist it, put the tails how I want them before I put it, and then I'm just going to glue it down. So I don't want to glue my ephemera, so I'm going to pop that out. And I just want to put this here. My finger has stuck to that. So I'm going to need a little more glue, it looks like, just a tad. You guys, on the last one, I used a harvest, like an autumn set of digitals, and Lisa commented to me that she bought them and they were no longer available. Not even the shop is up on Etsy. And I woke up worrying about that this morning. I hope she got her digital downloaded before that happened, because if the shop closes, or if the digital set gets removed, then I've not been able to download it. So Lisa, I woke up this morning with that on my mind, hoping you had downloaded the set before it was gone. I did not. I would never lead y'all down a primrose path. I truly would not. So, oh my goodness, I hope you got your digital set. I guess I need to take that link off that video since it's not there anymore. But I'm going to put something there. But I really thought about this button down here. If I kind of put a little bit of this on here. Maybe I want a bigger button down here. I'm just going to, this is just a piece of vintage shabby looking fabric. It's a remnant from something I've used before. I think I'm just going to kind of scrunch this up. I'm not sure if I want it all the way across the tag or a little bit across the tag. We'll just see. So I'm just scrunching this a little bit and laying it down. Do I want it all the way, or do I want it just here? Let me go ahead and cut it. Let's see. I'm just going to put this down. We'll see how it goes. So whatever digital set you use, just let it be something that you enjoy creating with. If this one's available, I will leave a link to it. If it's not, if there's no link, then that means it wasn't available. So I am going to go ahead and just put this down. I don't want to close that tuck spot, so I want to be careful there. And I just went ahead and put that down. Okay. So we can still see the lace. I think I'm going to make one more little ruffled piece. And then I was thinking buttons. So I'm not probably going to use my sparkly bling, because I think of Anne of Green Gables as being more cottagey. Let's see how a bigger button and a smaller button looks. So there's a bigger button. This one has the thread still on it, but that's a rather tattered button. That's not going to go. That's a pretty little decorative button. I might use that one. Let's see. Let me decide for sure. Oh, that one's another of pearl. I like that one. So I'm going to go with this button here. And then the smaller button up here in the center of the bow. So that gives us this little set of little tails hanging down there. And it gives us a little something fancy on here. And then we can just tuck in our journaling cards, our little journaling spots. How I was thinking about this is writing my favorite quotes and some of just my favorite parts of the movie on the back of this. So each piece, I'll probably just write a little quotation from the book. I've almost got it memorized. I seriously have. So there's our first little tag. And I think it'll go on that ring just fine without, I think it'll still flip. I might have to cut that one piece down. Yeah, I might have to cut that down. So I'll decide at the end what I need to do with that. I might have to take a piece off the bottom, make it a little smaller. So there's that one. And when I do the next one, I want to take into mind being able to see that, and then giving this some more dimension. So with the second tag, if I put the first tag on it, kind of gives me an idea of where I want to decorate the second tag. And I'd like to approach this one just like I did the one for fall, and put a little tuck spot. So I picked these little books because we all know Anne loved her books so much. She lived in that little world that drove Marilla crazy, that little imaginary world of hers. And this is exactly how I did the fall one. I made a little tuck spot, and then I used the same ruffly lace, and I tucked some things in here. So if I put this on it, that's where I'm headed with the next layer. So I like that. And I don't have to worry about how thick this is because it's its own little creation. It's not going in anything. So I'm going to cut this about right here. I've already inked everything, so you don't have to follow along with me on that. I'm going to lay down my tuck spot I'm going to lay down this little spot first. Let me see how I can glue it. So this is going to go in there. So I could glue it on both ends and on this end without any problem. So that's the little card that's going in. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue it on both ends. Let's glue it on this end first. Oh. Okay. Center it. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the top and bottom. So now I have my tuck spot, and I'm going to do a little something to this card. So I'm going to put this ruffle on this side, and you can still see the books underneath. There's a there's more thread on that side, so I'm going to use this side and just put this ruffle down. So now if I put my top tag on, we can see that little ruffle on the side. So I wanted to put something, so you're going to be able to see this if we kind of slant it, but I loved the word Cordelia. There were all kinds of words in there. I picked Cordelia because remember that's what Anne wanted Marilla to call her when she first got to Green Gables, and Marilla thought that was crazy. So she simply became Anne with an E. She could settle for Anne with an E. Such a character. So I'm going to put a little piece of lace behind that word. This lace kind of has a little rounded corner. And then put down Cordelia like a tab. Right. So I'm going to put down the lace first. I can always, I know I'm taking up some of the space on the front of this card, but I can always journal on the back. There'll be plenty of spaces. I may even add more tags to this because we can add as many tags as we want. I just picked 5. So I'm going to pick Cordelia where she's kind of coming off the tag. Get this glue off my hand. And we're just going to pick Cordelia right here. So now I have her name. She wanted to be called because she thought that was so romantic. And then this kind of comes off the side. So if I look at layer 1, then I have layer 2 going on there. And I don't think I put it too far because you can still see it when I put on the 3rd tag. So there's tags 1 and 2. Okay, for tag 3, I was thinking I want to use Green Gables as part of this little booklet. And if I look at tags 1 and 2, they'll be like this. And take that out so I can kind of see. So if I look at tags 1 and 2, I'm probably at the point, first of all, let's see. This is tag 3. So I need to move that. Okay. That's tag 3. I grabbed 3 and 4. So here's 1 and 2. So I think I need something down here on this one. I definitely don't want that. That color is very off. So I'm going to remove that. I can just store it with my flowers. Is it going to remove? Boy, that's on there good. Okay. I can store it with my flowers. And use it for something else. I'm going to have to put something there. So I think I'll put this lace on the bottom. And I'm going to put this image on, but more as a... I'm going to go ahead and leave it open on each side so I can tuck something in if that's what I want to do. Yeah, I'm going to try to make this so I can keep tucking things in there because a lot of ephemera did come with this. So I want to be able to pop some things in if I choose. If I don't, it can just look collaged. I want to make sure I put in Kindred Spirits because Anne found her Kindred Spirits at Green Gables. And I don't know that I want it on this page. We'll decide. Right. So I'm going to definitely either, maybe I could just trim that. It might mess that ruffle up. That's okay. I can trim it. All right, so I'm going to put this ruffle down. I'm not going to put it too far down because I want to see the ruffles that may come later. So I'm going to put it where I can still see Green Gables, but not so far down that it's really hanging down a lot. Okay. Now, do we want Kindred Spirits on this or not? That's the question. To me, this is kind of dark for that page. So I think I'm going to wait on that. Okay. So I'm probably going to go back and revisit that tag. But now I have, it's looking something like this. Okay, so we can see different layers. We can see something on the bottom, and then on the right side, we even have something on the left side here, and then we have this little on this bottom. So do we want to use another button? I don't know. I don't want to do too many buttons, but I do want to keep this rather homey looking. Okay, I have something else in mind. I've been thinking about this little precious teacup. Isn't that sweet? It came off a charm set I got oh so long ago at Michael's. And since they had tea at Green Gables, and then she and Diana had that disastrous tea party, I've glued it to my thing, then that would kind of be fun to put there. So I can make a little simple, let's see, what about a little piece of eyelet and a little piece of this, and make a little, just a small cluster. Just put this on top so the eyelet's kind of sticking out with a ball pen. I don't know, y'all. Let's see. Just going to put this right through here. Let's see if this is something we like. We may decide we don't want to do this at all. Okay. I think that's pretty cute there. And I am going to put something right here to soften that ball pen. So then we have this little charm. Let's make sure it's going to hang right out from underneath there. That's going to be adorable. Okay, so let's put on this little cluster. I can still see my Green Gables there. And I don't usually like naked ball pens, so I'm probably going to put a little bit of this tulle on there. And that just kind of adds a little something to give that, so that ball pen doesn't look so harsh. For some reason, that always bothers me. That's not a good piece of tulle. Okay, here's a good piece of tulle. Let's see how this looks tied on right here. Slip it in that ball pen. And we'll just tie it to a little bow. I love bows, and let's see if I like a true bow or if we just want to leave that. And I think I like the tree bow there. So I'll quit playing with it. So that is adorable. Look at that little tag. I love that. I'm so glad I thought about that charm that I've had for years. It's definitely would have to hang out of a journal or just too thick to put in an actual journal. So what have we got so far? We've got these 3 tags. These kind of look like this. And we're starting to see our layers come together, which is what I had in mind when I designed a flip booklet. So I'm gonna stop with these 3, and then on the next video we'll do the last 2 tags, and then we'll look at the final product. So thank you guys for crafting with me today. I hope you have a fabulous day, and always remember to embellish the story. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.